welcome back. I'm Shauna if we haven't met yet, and today we are kicking off week 5, the last week of my Declutter My Home for the Holidays challenge. And of course, I left the outside-ish project for the last week. It is a very cold start to the morning. It is warming up as the day progresses, but still better weather than it was 18 years ago today. I only know because it's my anniversary, so happy anniversary to my husband. But we're gonna tackle the shed today. I scheduled 2 days for doing this. I don't know if I'm gonna need both days, but here we go. And welcome to our shed. It is a nice size shed. We bought it a few years ago and it's worked great, but unfortunately, as you can see, it's kind of messy. Some things like the kayak storage and where the mower live work great, but everything else, not so much. I have this in here. There's some more in the garage, so I have to decide, am I putting these in the garage? Are they going to store here? I'm gonna have to think about that. If I want them to store out here, I might put like a piece of wood across here to hold them in place so they're not falling all over the place, but I don't know, we'll see. And then I need to make sure that the snowblower is towards the front because we're going to need to move that to the garage soon-ish. The hammock actually is going to go into the house because we're going to install the hammock in the sunroom, so we'll use it more. After we got the shed, we put these shelves in for like the bins to hold toys and things. But as you can see, this could be from babysitting kids, this could be from my kids. Not working very well. However, we really don't play with a lot of this stuff anymore. So I think a lot of this can actually go. And the biggest thing that I have trouble storing is the bikes. They just fall over and are just in the way. So I'm hoping that if we can kind of clear a lot of the toys out, the bikes can go in here, like pull in this way, and then eventually we can get like bike racks for them to mount on the wall and give us more space in this area. So we'll see. But enough talk, let's do it. So as you saw, there are certain things that we put in here. There's some hooks on the walls that the boys and I put up, I think last year, maybe 2 years ago. And then like the shelves. So there's certain things that we've put in here that really do help this stay somewhat organized, but I think by going through and actually doing a really big declutter is going to make a big difference. Going back to the container method, if there's too much stuff in a container, it doesn't work well. You need to go through and make sure that the right amount of things are in the container, and the shed is a container. Super exciting though, I did find some hooks that we're not going to use on the walls anymore that are going to be perfect for storing the fishing poles in the garage. So very excited about that. But anyway, I am just pulling things out. I am sorting it into 2 piles, a keep pile and a get rid of pile. So just trying to just sort everything in just those 2 piles is really going to make my job easier in the long run. And then about this time I realized I need a 3rd pile. I have to sort through this container pile. So we're going to start setting up that 3rd pile. And I'm just trying to concentrate right now just on that right side. I thought if I tried to do the whole shed at once, I might get a little bit overwhelmed. Trying to keep it as manageable as possible just because I was pretty overwhelmed thinking about doing this shed project. But just clearing things out item by item, bin by bin, putting it into the 3 piles was really working very well. There were a lot of little things on the floor here, like chalk, little things of bubbles. Why the chalk ever got stored in here, I don't know. That should have gone in like the mudroom or the garage because we used it on our driveway. But about this point, I realized I forgot a garbage bag. So ran into the house, grabbed one, grabbed the broom at the same time, just because there's cobwebs in here, there's leaves, there's dirt, like old mud that came in from some of the containers from making mud pies. So just trying to clean as I go as best as I can. I also find that sometimes by switching gears, by like from going from sorting or like pulling things out to sweeping also helps my brain like not get super overwhelmed. By giving myself these little easy projects in the midst of harder things, I can work longer. It helps me from getting overwhelmed and just burned out. So once that is all swept out, I decided, okay, it's time to go through all these bins, figure out what is garbage. There was a lot of broken things in here. What can we keep? What do we want to keep? What can be donated? I did end up putting quite a few things by the side of the road for people to take. I did that with the containers last week when I did the garage, and people loved it. People were coming and taking containers. So like one of the bikes ended up going up there. The scooter went up there. A couple more containers went. A lot of the stuff went fairly quickly. It was pretty awesome just to be able to like bless people, I guess if you could call it that, but just, let other people have their pick. We weren't going to use them. Some of the stuff wasn't really good enough quality for me to donate. So just, hey, if you want it, take it. If not, it'll go in the garbage. And once I've been going through it, I decided to start organizing into bins a little bit. So I thought if I put like all of the balls into one cube, that would be great. And I put like the little soccer, like little cones in there as well. And then I went in to put the bat away and realized, you know what? Maybe my organization isn't very good. But I wasn't quite sure what to do with it. So I just went back to sorting items again, kind of just mulling through different ideas as I looked through things. It's really hard to organize when you don't exactly know what you're going to be organizing. So it's a really good idea to kind of like leave it to the last minute once you know exactly what you have. But sometimes I like to jump the gun. I started putting more bins in and found another baseball glove that obviously was like too small. So I put it in the pile to donate. And then as I put more things in, I realized, you know what? I need just a baseball bin. We play baseball a lot during the summers, so a bin just for baseball. I thought that really made sense. That way we could just bring the bin out, play with the stuff, throw everything back in the bin and put it away. So I thought that was going to be easier. And then I was kind of throwing all the balls into one thing, and then I'm like, no, I'll divide it up. And then I ended up putting all of the balls back into one. So it's got soccer balls in it, it's got the volleyball in it. And then once I was pretty happy with that, I decided to start moving all of the bikes back in. This is just a temporary fix. We're pretty much done with bike riding season. So over the winter, we can figure out how we're going to store these better, just because it is such a headache. If the shed was bigger, it would be a lot easier, but it's not. So we have to work with the space we have. So over the winter, we'll figure out how exactly we want to do it. I think I want to get like the wall bike racks. And I had a friend come to visit. This is Ivy. She's the neighborhood kitty. She belongs to one of our neighbors, but she loves our yard. She is the queen of chipmunk hunting. So she comes, she gets all the chipmunks from our yard, so they stop eating my garden. And actually, her family last year got a big inflatable Christmas chipmunk decoration to celebrate Ivy and her chipmunk hunting. It's pretty epic. And then just continuing to move around the shed, putting all the life jackets away. We had left them out to dry after one of our last kayaking outings, but then never put them away. So just making sure those get put away for the season, because it's too cold to go kayaking now. And just making sure everything's tidy, putting the hose that was in the corner fully back up on its hook. Then I'm going to sweep out and make sure it's all clean over here. Ivy is hiding just off camera. She keeps watching me, trying to figure out what I'm doing. Should she run away? Should she come attack the leaves? She wasn't sure. It was pretty cute. And then it's time to put the ladder ball away. My son loves these. They're great. Ladder ball's fun, but they're really hard to store. But thankfully, they're just PVC, so I was able to kind of put all the joints together pretty tightly and then move the feet so it's all kind of like one plane. And then there were hooks on the wall that these fit perfectly on. So I hung them up, and then the feet are flat up against the wall. We can just turn them back out 90 degrees when we want to play. I don't remember hanging these hooks here for ladder ball. Maybe when we originally organized ladder ball, we hung them here. Why they don't get hung up there, I'm not sure. But I was very excited to have those hooks. So either I did it before and forgot about it, or it was just perfectly waiting for ladder ball. And then I put my push mower away. I use this one in my garden. I have raised garden beds, so this goes between all of the beds really nicely. And then I remembered I had seen a golf ball down here, and it was actually the missing ladder ball set. I don't know what you call it, but I found the fourth one. So hung those all up on the ladder ball, and This is phenomenal. I can't believe I got this done in under an hour. It looks so good. It's, again, one of those things, why did I not do this earlier? It just needed a really good declutter. As you can see, things just fit in here so much better. We'll do the bikes later again, but just a few bins of things I know we use and love, and it just feels so much better out there. And then here, this pile doesn't look really bad on camera, but in person, it felt pretty overwhelming to clean up. This went so much faster and smoother than I ever anticipated. So tomorrow I'm going to have to figure something else out to do. Since the shed is done, I might do my van just to get that cleaned out for the winter. Maybe my husband's car too, but it depends on what time he gets home from work. So we will see. I'll keep you updated. It'll be a surprise tomorrow when the video drops. But yeah, I'm very happy with how this looks. It's kind of bittersweet looking at all the things that we're parting with, like all the little kid toys, just because like my kids are big now. But at the same time, knowing that they're gone, I mean, most of them were like broken anyway, so even if my kids were still little, I'd be throwing them out and getting new things. So yeah, I'm very excited. We'll see how this does. Granted, we're at the end of the season, so I won't know until next year how this works, but I'm going to call this a success. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later. Bye.